everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we're going to be checking out an incredibly detailed and real car this time. This isn't going to be some law-friendly nonsense. We're actually going to be checking out a real car today, and that's because today we are checking out the classic, the iconic Mazda Rx7. Now, some of you guys might remember I did a video a few months back on a Toyota GT86 that was incredibly detailed by TGIJ, aka Devoted Media, aka Justin. Well, he's come out and he's built this awesome Mazda Rx7 for us, and there are so many tuning parts for this. I think this might be a bit of a long video. We'll have to see. I know there's a lot of parts to get through in this thing. It's gonna take a while just to get through the parts, let alone trying to make a build for this. So actually, before we start doing anything and start a build, there's gonna be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below as always. And also, don't forget, I also have an Instagram, _Figureight. Links for that in the description below as well. I guess we should probably park up somewhere. Everywhere's a bit sort of dusty, and I wanted something a bit... Oh, dear. Yeah, I crashed a bit. Yeah, I'm going to try and find somewhere nice and flat. Well, here's somewhere nice and flat, and also somewhere I don't think we've ever tuned a car before, so that's going to be pretty new for us. Let's park up here. And, oh, yeah, okay. As with right-hand drive vehicles, as this is a right-hand drive vehicle, when you reverse and Michael goes for the old lean, he does stick his head through the glass and through the roof. We'll try and ignore that. Right, let's just go ahead. Whoa, okay, there was a lot more front to that than I thought there would be when I repaired that. Right, so here we are with this beautiful Rx7. Let's just go ahead and go for some nice, ooh, some nice sexy camera shots of this. Look at that. Absolute beauty. Ah, these are nice. Sadly, I can't sort of move this cleanly to get some nice cinematic shots, but oh well. So before we jump into the huge array of parts for this thing, let's just have a quick look around. Of course, this is an Rx7. You guys should all know what this looks like. I just want to have a look at how things are detailed. Got some nice detailing on the lights there as well. On the rear, got some badging going on. All the plates, rear lights. Got our wheels going round. Got some badging here. Spirit R Club. And around to the front as well. And we also, hang on a minute, if I go to here and I go to door control and I go to the rear doors, look, we actually have pop-up headlights. I know there's no animation for them, they're just up or down, but we can at least select them to go up and down, which is pretty damn cool, and it just basically works off the rear doors. Seems like this is a two-door model. In fact, let's just go ahead and open up the trunk and the boot, and also the doors. Why not? So actually, here's an interesting first point. I thought the RX-7s were pillarless. Am I wrong? I always thought, for some reason, that like this bit, sort of like this, came up here on the side. Maybe I've just always remembered it wrong. For some reason, I always thought RX-7s were pillarless. Ah, well, I guess they're not, because I would say that this actually looks right. Yeah, this bit I thought would be attached, but looking at it now, I'm not entirely sure. No? No, okay, I'm completely confused by that, but here we have the door open with our incredibly grainy looking interior. If we actually zoom in on that, you can see it just doesn't look very pretty when you look from a distance. It's just so much in the texture there. I mean, especially here. Look at that. I mean, that thing just goes completely crazy on the camera when you zoom out. Whoa, boy. Then we have the rear boot. Again, this opens in a really weird way on the RX-7. It also makes it look like a pickup truck when you get rid of that thing, which is quite interesting. I'm sure someone has made a pickup truck RX-7 somewhere. I'm sure that's a thing. And then we have our boot here, and then around to the front, we have this nice little 3D engine, this beautiful little wankle engine in here. Actually fills up quite a lot of the engine bay, which I didn't think a wankle engine did, but I don't know. I just like saying wankle. Right, okay, let's actually just jump into some parts now. Let's go ahead and close all this stuff down. Okay, so here we are in Menus Mod, ready to go. And actually, before we start, I just want to change the color because it's a little dark, and I want to make sure that you guys can see all of these things properly. So let's just get a classic. Let's just make it red, just so we can see it nice, bright, and clear. That's better. That's a lot better. In fact, we could perhaps even make it matte red to even get rid of the shine, so you can really just see the details without having to worry about shine and all this other stuff. Yeah, that's going to be nice and clear for the video, I think. So as you can see from this list on menus customs, we've got a lot to cover. Roof, 2 sets of fenders, hood, grille, chassis, exhaust, skirts, rear, front, bumpers, spoiler, wheels, and also there's a few things in Benny's Lowrider mods as well. So let's jump in. And in fact, let's just start with the front bumper so we can get an idea for the build. And there's 35 to go through. So we have the stock. We have number 1. By the way, these aren't actually named. So if you guys know any of these, perhaps you know, maybe this is Valeside, perhaps not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if it's Valeside or anything, let me know in the comment section below as we go on. I'd be interested to see how many of you guys can spot all the different parts for this. So then we have number 2, which looks very similar to the stock one. Number 3, very weird with all the little LEDs going on here. Are they LEDs? I mean, what else would they be? We have number 4. Number 5, oh, that one looks quite nice. I do like that. Number 6, pretty subtle looking. Number 7, very similar to the original ones. There's 2 number 7s, so we'll ignore that. Number 8, number 9, which also is incredibly wide compared to the rest of the car. So presumably, that's where all the extra arches and fender stuff comes in later on. So I'm sure some of these are only going to match with certain bumpers, so that's going to be quite hard to find these all matching, but we'll just go on from here. So then we have this, number 10. We have number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. A lot of these are like the stock bumper with just these different splitters down the bottom here in carbon fiber. We have number 17, 18, 19. Again, this is another one of those wide arch ones, I think. It definitely looks a little off with the rest of it. I mean, even on the bonnet it looks off. That's a lot of panel gap. There must be a lot of extra stuff on some of these fenders to sort of accept this strange shape. That is a strange shape, by the way. That is a very weird looking bumper. Anyway, 20, 21. What is that? That looks really familiar. That looks like all those generic style Japanese body kits that they used to make in like the tuna scene area, like late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. That bumper I've seen on many different cars, I feel. Then we have 21, 22. I think that's the Valeside, isn't it? That looks familiar. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's the Valeside kit. Did Valeside just perhaps do several kits? Either way, there's going to be a lot of body extending happening on some of these fender mods in order for that to fit. Number 30. What? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I was not expecting that. Okay, I think this is actually based on a real-life RX-7 that has this old classic RX-3. I think this is RX-3 front end. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how that all matches up later on. Then we have 32 and 33. The thing is, this is going to be really hard to know which one to go for this build. So I'm actually going to try and just build the Valeside kit one first, so we can go through. So it's going to look a little odd for now, and might be a bit awkward because I might not recognize the rear, but we'll see. So here we have the stock. We have R1, which is actually just that's actually quite nice. I quite like how that looks. Again, I'm probably going to do a couple of builds just to sort of show you like my favorite looking one, and also try and like recreate some of the full kits. Then we've got R2, looks like a drift style one. We have 3. We have 4, with all these awesome things going down at the bottom there. I love the look of that. That looks mean. Then we have 5, 6, 7. Again, these seem to be combinations just like we had on the front. Number 9, huge star. In fact, that's going to be a very wide looking drift bumper for that one. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ooh, I definitely recognize that. Those weird lights, they seem familiar to me. Then we have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Whoa, okay, that's the Valeside one that matches. I recognize that. Then we have 20, 21, and 22. Oh, dear God. Okay. Yeah, that's out there. Well, we're going to go for that one because I want to try and get this full build. This is going to be awkward because I don't think I'll recognize the skirts. But we have number 1. Again, these really going to have to match up with the fenders. This is all going to come together once they start to be added in. We have skirt 1, we have skirt 2, skirt 3, skirt 4, skirt 5. Some of these just match. Some of these definitely, I mean, like this one, definitely going to have to match with something a little bit wider. Skirt 7, skirt 8, skirt 9, skirt 10. There's still plenty here that I feel like you don't even have to change the fenders and you can still get a build in, but for a lot of them, there's going to have to be some widening going on. We have number 12, 13, 14, oh, no, 2 13s actually. Then we have 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, I don't recognize any of those for the Veilside kit, so I have a feeling that when we change the fenders, it's all going to come together. So actually, let's just go down to fenders and have a look here. So here we have the front fenders, just the front arches or wings. So we have number 1, we have number 2, we have number 3. Again, these would all match better when you find the right matching bumpers. That's why this is kind of really awkward to show. Still going through here. Number 7, 8. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. 9, 10. Ooh, that looks like it fits. Yeah, that's the one that fits. Okay, so that would be 10 for us. We also have 11, 12, and 13. Let's just go back to 10. Then on the rear fenders, we have number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, whoa. Okay, that whole bit added that whole chunk. There was like side skirts and stuff going on there. Okay, 8 is going to get that all matching right there. There's definitely a lot of panel gaps. Hopefully they get filled in a second. And then we also have 9 and 10, which all just sort of, it really just looks like a huge mismatch when you try to show these with the other bumpers on them. But there we have number 8. We'll chuck that on. And let's just go for chassis. We've got some light stuff going on. Ah, that's to change these rear lights. So we have that. Then we have this one for the Veilside kit, which also gives us the split rear window, which I didn't think was on there. Maybe I just didn't remember that bit. Then we also have this version for, oh, that's actually just some different rear lights. And then we also have those as well. So we'll definitely do like a non-wide build in a second. And also you can probably tell by the fact that these wheels are just lost in those arches that it's a definite that you will need to have V-Stancer if you want to make these builds. Because those wheels look a little lost inside this kit. There you go, there's the lights and stuff all fitting in. We have the grills. I don't know, I guess this is just going to be everything matching for the Veilside kit on the front. But we have these little pop-up headlights right here. We have them like this, like that. Ah, there we go. We also have number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. Let's just go for number 4. No, was it 3? 3, there we go. And then we also have the hoods to match. Again, these bonnets are all going to be matching with the different kits. We've got bonnet 1, bonnet 2, bonnet 3, bonnet 4, bonnet 5, bonnet 6. That's what we need. Ah, look at that. But we also have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just lots of carbon fiber versions, it seems there. Different versions, different sort of venting. Again, some of them are positioned differently, so they're going to match with different kits. Actually, can I just say, that's a nice carbon texture. It's got all the shine in the right areas. That, mod makers, take note. This is how carbon fiber should look in a game. That looks so good. That is how carbon fiber should look in a game. That is nice. That looks like true carbon fiber now. Although perhaps carbon fiber without a bit of lacquer that perhaps it needs. Then we also have 16, 17, 18. Whoa. Oh, that actually... Oh, now that takes us back. For those of you who don't remember classic GTA history of modding, the first ever custom model car for GTA 5 was an RX-7 that had the same kit on theme of whatever this whole thing sticking out of the bonnet was. That is really taking us back. So, yeah, whatever that was based on, that's the version for this one. Then we also have the carbon fiber version of that. And then we also have this shorter one. That must be for the RX-3. Hoping it's RX-3. I'm going to look stupid. Front end. And then we also have that one. So we need to go back to whatever it was, number 6. There we go. Right, so what do we have left then? We've got exhausts. I guess we can sort that out. So we have exhaust, stock. Then we have number 1, number 2. We've actually got 24 of these. Again, this one's got some nice carbon fiber texturing. Again, even Rockstar, take note. Because I think the one thing that I think Rockstar sucks at is doing the exhausts. They might have, you know, added some cool things in like the Bosasoku style exhausts, but their texturing on some of the later ones as well are appalling. And then we have, whoa. What is that? I've never seen an exhaust like that in my life. Okay. Then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, no, there's two 15s there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. For some reason, missing 21 and 22 again. Well, I think, trying to find, because this definitely only has the exhaust on one side, so it can't be any of these doubles for the Veil side kit. I guess I'll just go with the exhaust that fills up the hole, which might just be something simple like that. There we go. Then for the spoiler, we have 41 options. And this is the bit where I have a feeling I'm not going to recognize the right spoiler. But we have, whoa, okay, number 1 with the beautiful carbon fiber texture, as usual. Try and find a nice angle for this. Then we have number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Some of these are going to look odd because, again, we have extended the rear at this point. So we can pretty much go through quite quickly on these, although I think these ones are going to look awesome on a stock RX-7 rear end. And then we have all of these different ones. Some of these, again, are only going to work with the non-wide body kits because they're actually glitching through. Going through again once more. Hang on. Is that one right? That looks a little small for the Veil side spoiler. I really can't remember what the Veil side one looks like. But let's just keep going through. All of these, including all like the standard style, like tuner one. Which one was it? Number 24. That one's very tunery. Very, yeah, when I say tuner, I'm saying like Fast and Furious 1 and 2. Like that sort of era of tuning. Anyway, let's just keep going. All of these amazing spoilers. They're all very unique, including this one. Spoilers are the things that I really just do not have an eye for. Whoa, okay, that's not right. That's pretty big, and then 41 is nothing. Do you know what? I'm actually going to have to Google this car in real life just so I can find the matching rear spoiler. Okay, I found it. It's number 23. Right there, that is the spoiler that they had on the Veil side kit. Now, what I need to hope for is that we can have this in two-tone, because looking at that picture, the original was orange. I plan to make this orange, but the spoiler and the roof are in black. And I have a feeling this one's not going to allow us to do that. But we do actually have a couple more things first. In the trim, oh, we got some seats. This is going to be stuff for the interior. Okay, this is going to be good. Oh, look at that. Oh, we missed these details down here. I just spent so much time looking at the dashboard, I just missed this whole cluster. There's a lot going on here. This looks great. Look at that. We have all of this going on. Of course, it is manual transmission. I tell you what, I've never sat in an RX-7. I've sat in the one before this, but I've never sat in this era of RX-7 before. I'd really like to one day. But anyway, let's just widen our camera view so we can get a nice view of all these seats. So we have the stock trim, we have the beaded seat covers, which actually isn't beaded seat covers at all, we'll try and ignore that. We have what looks like the standard seats for an RX-7 perhaps. Then we have these are actually really low textured. These are definitely pulled out of some racing game. Again, these don't really work, they're all quite low textured. The stock seats are the best, there's no point in even changing them. And then on the dashboard, let's go around to the front, here we are. So we have the stock, we have the wood interior. We have the carbon fiber interior with the non-cool carbon fiber texture. Not really sure how that one looks. Then we have this one in black, which looks quite nice. And then we also have that one, which is checkerboard. I like that. How does that compare? Do you know it's a little darker? That's alright. Okay, we'll go with that one. Then on the steering wheel, we have an option of the stock, which I don't believe is the stock from the RX-7. That looks a little bit too modern. No? I don't know. But we have the three-way, we have the Toad. These are all based on some real-life ones, I believe. The 2 Retro, the Greaser, the Rocket. Okay, actually, why am I reading these names? I keep doing this. Ignore the names. Then we go through this. So these are Vertex ones, and they're pretty much all just Vertex ones. Do you know what? Stock is best. Or at least in this case, because they look kind of weird. And then we also have, to finish these brake things, which are actually on the interior again, aren't they? That's actually the handbrake right there. So we have the stock, then we have that with a big wrench. I'm sure that's painful to hit. We have this one, which goes through, and then we have this one right here. So we have some different drift style handbrakes. I'm just going to go for stock. Okay, so to finish this build off, we need to go down, and also we have roof as well. Let's just check out what the roof things are that we have here. Maybe that will fill in all these gaps. Let's see. Oh, this might actually add the black roof. Okay, so we have the stock roof. Then we have these vortex generators. We have the roof scoop. We have another roof scoop. We've got, I think, a roof spoiler, just a little one going on there. Another roof spoiler that would work a bit better if we didn't have the veil side kit on. And, there we go. Okay, so that is the matching roof for the veil side kit. So we can get that all nice and black as well. We also have the soft top roofless version? I mean, how would that work with the... Okay, that does actually look like a pickup truck version of it that I was talking about earlier, doesn't it? That's curious. We might have to check that out in a second, but that's definitely not going to work with those doors. And then we also have this one, which just sort of makes it like a T-top sort of convertible style one. Well, let's just go for 6, or was it 5? No, which one was it? It was 7. There we go. That's the proper veil side roof, and that's everything done. Let's go for suspension. Competition, suspension, paints, primary, classic, and just try and get the right orange. Is that the right orange? What else have we got? Orange, bright orange. They're just a bit too much. Maybe we'll go for a metallic. There we go. I think sunrise orange is perhaps the closest we're going to get to the orange from the Veilside RX-7. Now, with the RX-7 wheels, they had some, like, giant-ass chrome ones, didn't they? So if we just go to wheels, I really don't think I'm going to find those. I'm not even sure where I would be looking for that, actually. I mean, they sort of almost look like that, but chrome. But I know that they are off the Prius from GTA 5, so that's not going to look right. But again, these are law-friendly wheels. These aren't real wheels. So it will look a little off in that regard anyway. Okay, so I'm looking through here and I really can't find any wheels that even cut close to the wheels that we got from the original Veilside built RX-7. Actually, I've been looking at some more pictures and actually that one looks quite close to one of the builds. For some reason, it was just that with chrome wheels. But they did actually have some nicer looking wheels, sort of like a 5-spoke deep dish style wheel. So let's just jump out this camera mode. We're going to have to go to V-Stancer and we're going to have to do a lot in the way of increasing the size of the wheels. So actually what I'm going to do first of all is just try and make it the right drop. So there's not really much we have to do to this one, I think. Oh, actually, let's go the other way. I think that might be as low as we go. So now it's just a case of getting all the wheels fit in. So I'm going to go for wheel width. First of all, get some nice wheel width in there because they had some nice deep dish wheels on that. And then we have to go to wheel size and get that fitting somewhere about there, maybe? Because, I mean, we definitely got to change all the collisions and stuff as well. That might work, because then we'll go to suspension menu, and we'll go to some track width. Actually, the track width on the front is pretty much perfect. It's just the rear that we need to worry about, really. So let's go for some rear track width, pull that out. That's actually perhaps a little bit more flashed look than I think the original one is. I think that was a little bit more offset. Perhaps something more like that, I'd think. And we'd also probably just do the same on the front to try and get it kind of like the real life one. And do you know what? I think that's done. That has really taken us a long time to get here to make this one single build. But there we go. This is an incredibly detailed mod. And that's why it takes ages to make a build. So actually what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and speed build a couple of these just to try and make my own flip. I'm not sure what other styles I can do with this exactly. I mean, I know there's plenty of styles. I'm just trying to think of what would be good for the video. Actually, now, do you know what? I'm going to try and build like what I would say is like the perfect looking modified RX-7. Because I mean, the original RX-7s look perfect as it is. But as a modified one, let's see if I can make one that's really just my style. Let's give it a go. Okay, and here we are with the finished thing. Now, for those of you that have watched that whole little speed thing, you might have caught on with a couple of things. One is that I spent a lot of time going up and down through the bumpers, and the thing that I really came to the realization was with this thing is that I actually really like the standard RX-7. I couldn't force myself to pick a rear bumper or side skirts or anything. Now, I did go for a couple of little extras on the front bumper, and I did go for the carbon fibre bonnet, but I am starting to regret that. In fact, I am going to go ahead right now and change that. Maybe I'll just go ahead and, I don't know. In fact, all of these bonnets just seem all right, but they're a little bit too much. Maybe something like that, because that's sort of like not too out there. Do you know what? Actually, I sort of like this bonnet. It's a little bit... The whole thing is this whole rear and side looks kind of all right, and then this front thing looks pretty aggressive for this car. It might be just a little bit too much. I'm still not decided. But generally, as much as I like the idea of just dressing up the front a little bit, the rest of the car I think just looks absolutely beautiful as it is. And actually, when I changed that bonnet, it did reset the wheel sizing that I had just done. I'd made the wheels slightly smaller, but do you know what? They actually look great at that size. I think it looks beautiful like that. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going through all these bonnets. I'm just going to keep it standard because I think it just looks best. There is really not much that needs to be changed. I've gone for a bigger back box. I've gone for this slightly different spoiler than the one that was already on it. It looks like a stock spoiler though, so I'm not entirely sure about the story with that rear spoiler. But there was one thing you might have noticed, because I just want to check this out because we didn't really cover this properly. And that is that there is a convertible version built into this mod. If we just get a roof, and we go to roof number 8, there is actually this convertible version, which, again, it now actually gets rid of that frame around the door and sort of brings back to me the idea that this is actually supposed to be a sort of pillarless door car. But this bit on the door does look a bit odd and makes me think that actually maybe perhaps not, because it looks pretty stupid. But yeah, if you wanted to see what a convertible RX-7 looks like, there you go. Or perhaps one that just has the roof off, which isn't too bad, but do you know what? Stock roof. I think that that looks beautiful, but there are a couple of important cars that are that can be built with this mod that I still want to cover. So I'm going to do very quick speed builds. Whoop, didn't mean to smash that up. It's 2 very quick speed builds just to show you how those 2 different RX-7s that I want to build look like in their completed form. Or I would do, but I've managed to break the game somehow, and now I'm just spawning in a million parachutes, and it's making my game go weird. Which means that I've also just sadly despawned my amazing RX-7. Right, give me a sec there. Right, okay. We're back, and let's just collect all these. Oh, I can only collect 1. Okay, that's starting to lag me out a bit. Let's move away. Okay, so for this first one, I'm not going to actually do a speed build. I'm just going to quickly show you the parts together, because I think that's easier. I just want to check out this front end. So we're going to go for number 31 on the front. Then we want to go to fenders. These are going to be the front. I think we want to go for, there we go, number 12. Then we want to go to the hood, and it's one of these bottom ones as well to match. There we go, number 20. And that is how we get that front end together. We've definitely got some very wide arches on the front, so I guess we'd have to get the same to match on the rear. Not entirely sure what that would be. Perhaps these ones, number 6. That is incredibly wide, but just to show you how it looks like when you get that front end, it does look weird, I've got to say. But that's not really the one I wanted to show. The one that I really wanted to check out was that crazy one that had the really weird, insane rear bumper. I just want to try and see if I can make that whole car. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've just built this up just very roughly. I was just curious to see how ugly we could get an RX-7, and I think this rear end takes the biscuit. In fact, this rear end mixed with that front end would be one hell of a car, wouldn't it? Because the front end, I sort of had to make it look a bit crazy with this bonnet and stuff. I wonder if these match. I have a feeling they don't, but let's see. Okay, so they definitely don't match. This bit on the side looks a little bit lost. Sadly, it doesn't really match up to the whole of the front, but there we go. This has been an interesting video. These have been interesting builds. I want you guys to just let me know in the comment section below what you think of this mod, what you think was your favorite build. I really just want to know your thoughts on my white build, which was actually just the idea that the best RX-7 is one that looks almost relatively stock with just a few little extra bits added on, because I think the RX-7 looks beautiful as it is. And I mean, I like the look of the Veilside RX-7, but it just doesn't look like an RX-7. It looks like something else. Do you get what I mean? It could easily be another car, and you know, I'm fine with that. But for an RX-7, stock is just really the best, in my opinion, or at least in the way it looks. I'm actually a real big fan of the white one. I'm quite sad that I accidentally despawned it, but there we go, guys. That's it for another interesting, highly detailed, highly customizable RX-7 in GTA 5. There we go. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And also, you can let me know some more suggestions for the foreign language intro. I didn't do that in this video, but I will be doing them. I'm just waiting for some more replies and sort of building a list first, and then we'll go ahead and start pumping those out. But there we go, guys. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you all next time. Goodbye.